In this video, we're talking about pay schedules that reward providers for retaining patients. The concept at work here is that we need to pay a provider more for patients' later sessions than for earlier ones. In order to talk about patient retention, we have to talk about patient attrition. Any location will have a certain capacity to render care to patients. It depends on a number of factors, including floor space and staff. We're focusing on staff here since we're talking about payroll. Attrition is a process that we can observe over time, so we need to talk about the utilization of a location's capacity over time. We'll say that at some point a location will acquire 4 patients through walk-ins or some kind of advertisement. And for this video, we'll say there's a steady stream of 4 new patients at regular intervals. LOS here stands for length of stay, which is a measure of how long the patient continues in their program at the location before they disappear and never return. When we add another 4 patients, we utilize more of the location's capacity because the first 4 haven't left yet. Soon afterward, we add another 4. However, the first 4 have already left, and their length of stay was so short that the new 4 patients simply replace the first 4, and there is no appreciable growth in care volume. We can continue this pattern, adding another 4, but losing a previous 4 and producing no growth overall. At any one time, there are no more than 8 patients in this example attending the location. And now if we increase the length of stay of the first 4 and continue with the addition of 4 patients as we did previously, we see that we have to move a group of 4 elsewhere, utilizing available capacity. We can increase other lengths of stay as well and end up shuffling other patients and utilizing yet more of the location's capacity. If we continue to add more patients 4 at a time at regular intervals and our lengths of stay were longer, we would achieve greater growth, which would be more dependent upon retention of patients than effectiveness of marketing to bring in more than 4 patients at a time. So the key question is, how do we increase length of stay? Patients stay for value, and value is transmitted to patients by providers that care for them. The simplest answer to this question is to pay providers to increase length of stay. We can do this using a pay schedule that rewards providers for the later visits in a patient's program than for earlier ones. Every patient represents some potential number of visits in total. We can pay a provider such as an active care specialist $15 per visit, for instance, for the first few visits. We can give the provider a goal of a higher pay rate, say $16 per visit, if the provider manages the patient well and the patient stays longer. We can continue this pattern to later and later sessions to provide increasing rewards for greater lengths of stay, that is, retention. This type of pay schedule is patient-centric and it can be tuned for any one patient or patient group. For example, the pay schedule for care rendered to patients with assigned benefits payment plan type could be different from pay schedules used to pay for care rendered to services rendered contract patients. There are many ways in which a provider can increase length of stay, including variation of exercise and education, which means empowerment that patients perceive as value worth staying for, and the sheer value of having a partner in wellness care is additional motivation for a patient to continue with their program. There are other ways, but the point here is that the provider has a more self-guided motivation to employ every way possible to retain patients, and the location has less need to monitor and motivate the provider on a daily basis. So that's it for this video. Be sure to watch other videos for more information on how to automate the use of this type of pay schedule.